hand on his shoulder. We always said she was his buttress against himself. In the hours that followed, she stayed calm and asked questions, but her lovely face was warped by fear. Then the police and an ambulance came, just in case. And us, murmuring, hearts thudding, shaking sand from our towels to cover their warm, trembling arms. Later, someone would say they saw a vulture circling in the distant sky. We sent our maids with food to the family's home in Villa Confederação, and we visited for a time, embracing them and clasping their hands. But then we stayed away. Surely, we whispered, they needed time alone. But the truth was that Hugo frightened us, his tall, wasting body, his feral stare. Yet we continued to drive past their house, surrounded like our own by 8-foot stone walls embedded with broken glass and barbed wire, its gate locked, doors bolted, the windows with bars, decorative and invulnerable, because like us, they had once found footprints in the flower beds outside their bedrooms. We imagine walking through their gardens as we had at their parties so many times before, and there we see Luisa leaning against the trunk of a cheflera. We follow her, weaving through firs, hibiscus, the pink-studded branches of the silk floss tree. She was always a bit odd, too serious. She sometimes seemed to swallow anxiously at nothing, then look around quickly, hoping no one had noticed. Or maybe hoping they had. At parties, she was more comfortable with children, braiding tattered flowers into their hair. So earnest, we said, fatigued by her affectations, her scribbling in journals and her mannered speech, the way she wore her grandmother's ratty white gloves everywhere. But some of us thought we loved her for them. For others, it was Hugo, the handsome Canadian expat, once all limbs and laughter, whom we loved for his easy charm and inextinguishable energy, whipped up and transmitted through us like light. Others among us have loved Dora all our lives and admired her proud beauty, even as she drove around the neighborhood in that noisy little Simca. She was one of us, a descendant of the Confederados, who fled in defeat from Alabama after the American Civil War to Brazil, where they licked their wounds and prospered. Our ancestors, Baptists and Methodists, brought clean churches to this superstitious place and woke the echoes with their hymns. Peasants here farm with plows now, which they never would have had in this backward country if not for our people. Together, Hugo and Dora were the golden ones in our small community. Ever since those early years, when they wore nothing but white and danced at the Copacabana, Hugo pulling her up onto the tabletops to join him, and Dora shaking confetti from her hair while we watched them dance aloft. Him, laughing easily, his fist crammed with bills won from the jockey club. Her at the beach, lacquered nails against the lichen of cracky seaside rocks, looking out at the white sea shedding haze. He brought out the best in her, warm flickers of joy, and somehow it mattered to us that she stayed with him through everything, haughtily selfless. That remarkable family. Not so golden anymore. They had been scheduled to sail for Canada within days when Louisa disappeared. Would Dora still move her family away? Theirs had been the life, such a life. Until the vultures circled the shore, and seeing something, they dove. Why say such an unkind thing? Yes, stop that. Why must we always try to make stories about dead girls into something lurid? It was a terrible accident, nothing more. But was it really? An accident? My maid swears she saw her all alone on the tram, and this was the day of their goodbye party, and she was crying. Oh, everyone but her parents knew she was up to something. It's true, such troubled people. What a dreadful thing. What awful people we are. But some of us can't stop ourselves. We say it's retribution for too much shine, too many flowers.